Guys, it is official. The 2026 VGC World Championships will be played on none other than Pokemon Champions. Now, look, I'm just going to let this trailer run in the background, man. I am so freaking excited. Now, of course, the big thing here, unfortunately, we still don't have an official release date. That is definitely the sad thing. But nonetheless, we get to see, we have mega evolutions coming into Generation 9/Generation 10. We get to play with them, next year, man. I'm so excited. Like, I know not everyone loves megas and stuff like that, but I think, with the power creep we've had in recent generations, it's going to be incredibly fun. A lot of old megas are going to have new stuff. We never had Shell Smash Blastoise. Like, Mega Blastoise with Shell Smash. Dude, sign me up. Also, Will Tank, if you're watching this, I'll never forget, my dude. You said if we move IRL events to Champions Leader shoes, I'll hold you to that, man. But again, we see Mega D-Knight here, man. I am so excited, dude. Like, this is just showing, like, hey, the Megas in ZA, they're coming across. Which, again, we kind of already predicted that. But, it's cool to see. And, I mean, look, if you're someone like me who follows leaks, there's, like, probably, like, another 25 odd Megas coming. So that is very, very exciting. But, look, we will, anyway, jump over to here to the Pokemon Champions website. As you can see, again, unfortunately, Pokemon Champions arrives 2026. Feels bad, man, but, it is what it is. I'm praying for January. There was, like, a leak that got, like, some stuff right, like, regarding, like, victory points that said, like, January 23rd. I'm gonna put it out there right now. If Pokemon Champions drops 23rd, and it's at the Auckland Special Event, I think, is January, like, 25, 26, something like that. And if it's on Champions, I'm there, over in New Zealand. If we get to have the very first Champions IRL event, that would be sick. Now, in saying that, I think if the game was to launch on something like January 23rd and we had a special event on the 24th, 25th, whatever it is, I think there's a very little chance they put it on Champions. But, a boy can hope, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, this stuff here, it's kind of what we already knew, right? Various strategies, blah, blah, blah. But here's one of the big things, right? Cross-platform battles. This is probably one of the biggest things announced today. It's not just familiar mechanics. You'll be able to bring in Pokemon from Pokemon Home. We kind of already knew it, but it's cool, getting a bit more confirmation there. 2, look forward to cross-platform battles alongside your favorite Pokemon on Nintendo Switch systems and mobile devices, with a variety of different modes available for your desired experience. So that's huge. They are saying, cross-platform. If you're on a mobile phone, you can play someone on a Nintendo Switch. Obviously, that was definitely something, I expected. But it's awesome to see, obviously, the confirmation here. But here is one of the biggest pieces of news today, because I did not think this was going to be the case. The Pokemon Championships will be the VGC software used for the 2026 World Championships. Now, that I expected. The next part, I didn't. Starting in 2026, Pokemon Champions will be used as the VGC software for the World Championships and the Championship Series events leading up to Worlds. Pokemon can be brought in from Pokemon Home into Pokemon Champions to assemble powerful teams. So essentially, this is just confirming, like, hey, yeah, if you want to compete at Worlds, you're going to need Pokemon Home. You're going to have to transfer stuff from other games, which is fine. I'm almost certain you can use the free version of Pokemon Home. You only get one box, but it's enough to, like, transfer Pokemon in and out, right? You get, like, 30 spaces. You put it in Home, put it in Champions. You can do whatever you need, yeah? Where was up to? Cross-platform support will also permit players to compete on either the Nintendo Switch systems or mobile devices. You know what this means? It means if you want to play on the Switch too, you can. If you want to play on the Switch, you can. If you want to play on your phone, you can. Now, this one, I don't know how I feel about this. Simply because having an opponent play on a mobile phone, I think, is really dangerous for obvious reasons, right? I hope that this is like the Pokemon Go type thing where it's like, hey, if you want to use a phone, you got to say you're going to use a phone. We'll give you a phone to play your games on. That's what I pray for, because, if I'm on my phone, you know what I mean? I'm on my phone, quickly swipe up, quick damage calc, oh, I just did 60% to this Fluttermane. What's that? Oh, bang. This means it's like a really bulky Fluttermane, something like that. I don't think that's great for the game. But in saying that, I do think having the accessibility is fantastic. I've met a lot of incredibly talented players in, like, player draft leagues, where it's like, oh, like, how have you gone at events? Like, oh, I don't play IRL events. Oh, why don't you play IRL events? Oh, I don't have a Switch. I'm like, so you, like, play all these, like, online events, but you don't have a Switch? It's like, yeah. It's crazy. Like, there's so many people like that out there, man. So I think for accessibility, this is huge, right? And then we get to see some of the stuff we've already seen before, right? Assembling your ideal team. We've kind of already spoken about that in previous videos. We've gone through all this here as well. Again, we've also mentioned this, but again, I kind of mentioned that leak earlier. The way VP works, again, kind of came out in a leak like months before it was announced. So that's really cool. 3 battle modes and 2 formats. I believe we've already touched on this, but there is going to be a ranked mode, there's going to be a casual mode, and there's going to be private mode. In private battles, you select a format, battle against your family or friends or other people create a room where your opponent you'd like to face, blah, blah, blah. Really funny how they say family, friends, or just other people you might know. I would like to think that if you're going to battle someone you don't know, they're probably, I mean, if you're going to battle someone in a private battle, it's probably a friend. Power up with victory points. Again, we've kind of seen all this stuff before. One thing I do want to keep in mind as well, because an IRL friend of mine actually DM'd me about this today. He's like, dude, like, he's like, fuck Pokemon champions, like, pay to win bullshit. I like literally just sent him this. I'm like, VP cannot be directly purchased, so keep battling and gain VP to power up your team even more. Obviously, you know, there are a lot of rumors going around that there's a second currency in the game, which I definitely expect there to be, especially for things like cosmetics, because again, I think in like there's like some screenshot somewhere. I'll see if I can find it once we're done here, but it's like some screenshot somewhere kind of like hinting at what's it called? Like customization and whatnot, which like I expect. I think it's probably even mentioned at some point in here as well, which is like really cool. Yeah, it's like, again, I expect it, right? Customization should definitely be in the game. If it's not in the game, I'd actually be kind of sad. But another big thing here as well, which, you know, kind of leaks some stuff here, is the Omni Ring, a battle essential. The protagonist of this title wears a device called the Omni Ring, an item necessary for Mega Revolution. It's similar to the Mega Ring in the Pokemon video game championships. Other special features may be added to the Omni Ring in the future. Research is being conducted to make the Omni Ring capable of drawing out a variety of Pokemon's capabilities. So, again, if we look here, right, we can see this move, or this thing right here. I think you guys can see my mouse. That is the symbol for Z moves. This one here is the symbol for Mega Evolutions. And this one down here, I believe, is the symbol for terrestrialization, right? But the other thing is, this is a ring, you know? There's another logo here, which we don't know what it is. There's going to be another logo here that we don't know what it is. And there's going to be another logo here, right? So my assumption is this is just them saying, like, hey, like this one here that we can't see, it's probably safe to assume that's going to be Dynamax, right? And then the other two slots are probably just going to be like some Gen 10, Gen 11 type stuff, right? But a big thing, right, for me here personally, when I read this, other special features may be added to the ring in the future. This is big because to me, this just kind of confirms something, right? You know, I've seen a lot of people going back and forth saying, oh, you know, Pokemon Champions is only going to be VGC for 2026. In 2027, we're moving back to, you know, the new main series game. I don't think that's the case. I think Generation 10 is going to be more like Legends ZA than it is Scarlet and Violet. And this just kind of allows them to say, hey, here's this new game. We're going to do all this stuff. We're going to put all these Pokemon into Pokemon Champions. That's where you battle with it. And yeah, for me, it kind of just confirms that this will kind of be like a live service game. Again, I've said it before. I kind of hope this means we get some like balance patches, you know, even if it's like small tweaks here, like, oh, Butterfree wasn't used much. It gets 20 base stats. Urshifu, oh, was the #1 Pokemon in the format. Maybe we, you know, we give Unseen Fist a little nerf, something like that. And then, of course, as well, just to wrap it up, Mega Dragonite is coming to Pokemon Champions. Mega Dragonite, a Mega Evolved Pokemon newly discovered in Legends ZA, will appear in Pokemon Champions 2. Learn more about the powerful Pokemon here. Find out more, blah, blah, blah. Also, one thing as well I think worth mentioning here, it says find out soon what kind of battle style Mega Dragonite will have in Pokemon Champions. Let me just give me like 1 second here. Sorry, I just had to pull up the ZA trailer here because like, one, I kind of want to talk about it, but also like I don't know if it's worthy of its own video. But they basically go on to show in this video, right, the new ranked mode, which by the way I'm actually really excited for. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was talking to some of the homies today. I'm like, damn, dude, like I'm so excited for Legends ZA, sorry, for Pokemon Champions, but like I don't know what kind of content I'm gonna make over like the next 3 months. But it just turns out this game has ranked mode. I hope it's enjoyable. I hope I like it. And then I hope I can like make content on it for like 8 to 12 weeks while I wait for champions to drop. But yeah, look, I think this is really cool, right? It looks like you are going to be taking in teams of 3. And again, one thing I personally really like about ZA, which I don't think I've mentioned in previous videos, just because I haven't really talked about ZA too much, is I think there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff you can do with synergy, right, in this game. So, for example, if you watched the demos over the weekend, right, you know, you saw that, you know, every move has like different cooldowns, and apparently they're pretty spammable. Like, as long as you have a move off cooldown, like, it's really quick to use. So I think there's going to be some really cool stuff that you're going to see where it's going to be like, you know, my example was like, oh, I click Leer into power up punch into close combat, right? So like you lower their defense, you raise your attack, and then you hit them like really, really hard. So stuff like that I think could be like really, really interesting, right? But anyway, kind of moving on to the whole purpose of like me bringing this up, right, is we're about to see this Dragonite go mega, right? And there's, again, a couple reasons why I kind of mentioned this. And again, I probably have to go back to the other trailer as well. But like Dragonite in all the trailers we saw use special moves. You see there, it clicks the Draco Meteor, right? Like it just clicked Draco, you know, and you know, for me, I'm like, oh, Draco, special attack, right? Like that's like the first thing I think of when I see Draco. But yeah, anyway, like I'm super excited for this. I didn't think it was worth like me mentioning, doing a whole video on this, but I did just want to like talk about it. But if we do just like quickly slide back, sorry. If we do just slide back here to the Pokemon Champions one, where did they have my guy D-Knight in here? Was it here? Yeah. Well, watch what D-Knight does here, right? So we're just talking about how D-Knight clicked Draco Meteor. Watch what it does here. That's an Air Slash into the Sneasler. And this is a Draco Meteor into nothing. Also, by the way, can we just like talk about like real quick? This is again why I want to see Champions, right? Like I know a lot of people have kind of shit on it, right? I don't think this game looks good. I think if anything, it probably looks worse than Scarlet and Violet right now. Sorry, Scarlet and Violet, Sword and Shield right now. But there's room to improve it, right? Obviously, I do think they mentioned at the start, like, hey, this isn't like final game footage. Just look how sick this Draco Meteor is, man. That's awesome, dude. That's so awesome. I'm so happy. I'm so excited to play this game. Obviously, I really wish we had a release date, but yeah, I guess let me know what you guys think down below of everything that was kind of revealed today. I know this is a shorter video, like it wasn't like anything crazy announced today or like, too much. But man, Pokemon Champions, we're moving over. Oh, I'm so excited. 2026 is going to be such a big year. I'm so excited to play. I'm so excited to use Megas. I'm just excited to move on from Scarlet and Violet, honestly. This last year for me, if you followed the channel for a while, this is the least I've uploaded in a very, very long time. The last 12 months, I've done like 40, 50 videos. The year before that, I probably did 200. So yeah, I'm super excited to like move on. One, just get away from restricted, but two, just get into something new. Get Megas, man. I'm so excited. But anyway, look, I've rambled on long enough. That's it for this one, guys. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.